The beginning of my kink story was the end of my marriage.
Best tagline for a movie
I
ever.
know.
Oh my God.
We're opening with that.
Is this like Foreplay?
Of course. Everything is foreplay.
I concur.
Have you not been listening?
Everything is foreplay. Emotionally, is it satisfying? Hell yes. What emotions does it satisfy is a much more interesting question. It satisfies my ego of control, even though I'm not really in control. And any honest dominant on this planet will tell you the person in control of any scene is the submissive.
What's up, sinners and saints?
This is Boudoir After Dark.
This is the podcast about sex, kink, desires, and all the things people whisper about but rarely ever say out loud.
And we're constantly blown away by how many different ways humans experience pleasure, identity, intimacy, and power.
We're here to ask the questions that sometimes people might be too afraid to ask, and then challenge the bullshit assumptions that we've all been taught.
So if you're here to learn, unlearn, and maybe question a few things you thought you knew,
welcome to Boudoir After Dark.
Let's get into it.
Boudoir After Dark. This is me.
Welcome to Boudoir After Dark. My name is Hilda,
My name is Jaysin.
and welcome to the podcast.
Today we are talking to a partnership of two people. She has been in the kink community for 10 years and identifies as a switch. He has been in the community since the dawn of the community, as the early days. He started the community, and he is identifying as a Domme, correct?
Domme, switch. I have a lot of switches.
Okay.
I am dying to hear all about this.
going
So,
to explore.
Jake, Jill, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
So how did you get into the lifestyle? What was your process, or how did you discover that you liked kinky shit instead of vanilla?
The discovery occurred rather early. Preteen, teen, that sex and these activated hormones seem to prefer being on the losing end of cowboys and Indians or something like that.
Okay, what does that mean?
You're not old enough to remember.
There we go.
You know, the kids in the neighborhood
Yeah.
would get together, we divide in teams and play army or...
Oh, so you wanted to be the losing end of
Well,
it.
if I couldn't kill them all,
Okay.
I wanted to be a survivor.
Gotcha.
You know, my mother accused me of coming out bent. So,
Bent?
yeah. I've had to carry that legacy forward.
Okay,
and
okay.
I just kind of bought into it to a large degree.
Okay.
Certainly my late teens, the experimentation with rope.
Like, how do you even think, okay, this is like, did you do it with a partner? Did you do it by yourself? Like, what was your first actual, like, I am so into this, I want to keep doing it?
Initially, it was self-play.
Okay.
There's no question. Important to remember in the context of these times, certainly late 60s, early 70s, this particular behavior was entirely underground. By the mid-70s, there were a couple of very well-known clubs that were up and operating. Hellfire in Detroit, for one. There was, I'm sure, a couple more on the coast, certainly San Francisco.
So for 20-ish years, you were just kind of like fantasizing and playing by yourself?
No, that happened. That lasted for about 5 years, and then I met my first wife.
Okay.
And we're both intensely curious people, and my interest in self-play, she observed one session out of curiosity, and it was like, okay, now it's my turn.
Oh.
And so the sexual aspects of our relationship just kind of grew and expanded from there.
Okay. That's great that you had a partner willing to explore that with you.
Yeah, well, pure luck. I mean, where do you go to meet somebody kinky in 1973?
Okay. So this was in the 70s.
Yeah.
So how did you find other people like that were in the lifestyle?
That was a very complex and challenging situation. If you knew someone else was a player, you could ask. all parties were in homes at that time.
Oh,
and, and they were very, very, very dark and quiet.
But by dark, you mean like they would like shut off the lights to not draw attention?
Not draw attention, don't park too much in front of the house, distribute the car. I mean, because kink at that time, you know, policemen loved to get hold of that one.
What, really?
What?
Sure.
Tell us about that.
Domestic
what do you mean?
abuse. Easy fix.
I mean, it still
There
has
were
that.
no rights for us at that time as players.
Oh.
We had no legal protections other than the ones we had already.
Mm.
And that was considered a criminal offense.
Even if everyone was fully consenting.
Consent? How do you prove consent?
Oh,
What?
good God. So real quick, because I know we're trying to go in like more like a linear stage. How has that changed legality-wise? Because from what I've heard, it's still in the gray area.
There are certain aspects that are still in the gray area, but there are several foundations, Sexual Freedom Group. They have challenged and challenged and challenged, and the law is much, much clearer now.
Okay.
You're still going to have maybe some political issues, but in this day and age, what isn't? And you have a lot more access to supported law
Mm.
Okay.
because we know it's there now.
Mm-hmm. Right, right. And also, I mean, obviously we have the internet now, so I'm sure police officers know what BDSM is and all that. So,
Yeah,
Or
it's
hopefully.
you know, in some respects, I always view today's kink as kind of, you know, the illegal card game in the 1940s. Everybody knew it was going on, and nobody wanted to fuck with it.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because
wow.
they sometimes on their days off they'd go play. So
Oh, okay.
you know it's much more accepted now. The frown now is mostly this ridiculous environment we're living in.
Mm-hmm. But everyone who is even remotely in the lifestyle or knows about it has been so welcoming to us. So do you feel like people in the community are very open and welcoming to your kink? What has been your experience like?
My experience, and I think Jill's as well, she can speak to her own. It's a conscious effort by 80% of the community to make a safe, sane environment in which people can do whatever the hell they want to do and still have some legal support for the 20% and particularly for the 2%. The 2% who can't play by the rules or have backgrounds that are just untenable in any type of community environment. It's an incredibly challenging situation.
Still?
Still, and it always will be. You're only as good as your worst members. You're only as good as the weakest links in the chain. And policing those and getting that information out to protect other people. The whole community is getting a lot better at
Okay. That's the one thing that I was really thrilled. I mean, at first I was like, what's this? When Donna first invited us, she's like, you got to come to a munch so you can meet people before
Right.
you're invited to the dungeon. So that is, to me, it made me feel very safe as a
Same.
woman especially. So
Yeah.
Jill, you want to tell us about you and how you ended up on Boudoir After Dark?
Well, the beginning of my story was the end of my marriage.
Okay.
After
Best tagline for a movie
I
ever.
know.
Oh my God.
We're opening with that.
We're already submitting it for an Oscar.
No, can you say the beginning of my kink story was?
Oh, yes.
There you go.
The beginning of my kink story was the end of my marriage. After the marriage ended, I had a very brief relationship with a man that we kind of explored a little bit with just minor things, just a little bit of impact and bondage, just a little bit. It wasn't like anything extreme. He wasn't as into it as I was. And for me, it was just kind of like, all right, this is something that I want to try. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it, but
When
wanna
did
try
you first discover that you might want to try something like this? What was your sexual awakening like?
Gosh,
Or kink awakening.
Thank you.
I think it was when I started the relationship with the guy, and he did have some traits of, say, like a daddy dom.
Mhm.
He was very kind of nurturing, and I just kind of felt like, okay, that's kind of a natural lead into maybe some little bit of spanking, discipline, whatever. And so we started exploring that a little bit for various reasons. The relationship did not last very long. And that's when I started exploring online on places like FetLife. One day, a man reached out to me on FetLife, said, if you want to meet people in the community, you should go to like a munch or something like that. And I was like, I don't know. I really don't feel comfortable doing that on my own. And he said,
And this was fairly recently, right? How many years ago?
This was 10 years ago.
Okay.
He said, well, why don't you meet me for coffee? We can talk. If you feel comfortable with me, then I'll take you to a munch. So we met. We talked for 3 hours. And
Whoa.
he started taking me to munches all over. He became my best friend. And he really mentored me for quite a while. And
so through him, then you started going to dungeons and meeting more people in the kink community?
Yes.
Okay.
And he was very involved with Kinky College. So he got me to go to that. And, obviously you guys have been there,
That's where we met all you wonderful people.
Yes.
So real quick, what is your definition of a daddy dom? And then give us more details about what Kinky College is for the people who don't know.
For me, the daddy dom is more of, I wouldn't say an authority figure, but more of the nurturing type, somebody that kind of cares for you. My definition is just a little bit different, I think, than some people's.
Okay.
And that's something that we're
he agrees,
and that's what I want to dive into. Is like we're seeing that the definition changes from person to person,
right?
And from dynamic to
and
dynamic.
from dynamic to dynamic.
So what is your definition of daddy dom?
Well, I think the term itself, as you both just described, is a genetic mutation in its own right. It's something different for every couple.
Okay.
And it's based on, their history of collective experience and desire and,
Right.
whatever their amygdala is doing to them. And my definition is very much supportive. Initially, I was a little bit too biased on the fix-it side.
Oh.
I don't get it. Explain, please.
She's having a problem, and I'm going to go fix it.
Ah, got it.
Okay. That's evolved into a much more, from my perspective, a much more structured support, don't fix.
Exactly.
I think that's hard for men to do overall. Like men,
It's a pain in the fucking ass for
like you
me.
hear a problem, you want to go fix it.
I mean, it's a loose screw. Just let me tighten the fucking thing. And
but I can do
laugh,
it
but yeah.
myself.
Yes. Got it.
yeah,
Okay.
she can do it herself. And I bite the tongue, go with it. Because otherwise, it could easily go very negative very quickly, and I would just become a crutch taken for granted.
Okay.
And that ain't happening.
Yeah.
Okay. It's so great that you're so self-aware, like both of you. Like, and okay, I kind of wonder what your perspective is on. There's a lot of not so young people in the kink community. It seems like 30, 40, 50 is like the average age.
At least from our
perspective,
yeah,
from
our
what we've seen at
encounters.
kink. Of course, there's much younger. But do you feel like you have to reach a certain point in your life where you're like, I'm comfortable enough to say what I need, what I want, and make that happen?
Go ahead.
I think so. I mean,
because you were a certain age when you're like,
yeah,
I'm out of here. I want
a
some.
little bit older.
Okay, yeah.
When I dove into this, and it did take me a little while into the exploration period that I figured out what it is that I wanted, and actually Donna kind of pushed that a little bit too, because she kind of dragged me to the femdom classes, kicking and screaming, and I was not interested in being a dom.
Okay, so
But-
femdom classes are for
women who want to embrace their dominant side, and we hold those. I am a member of the KIC admin, the Kane County Kinksters. I'm a member of the admin team. We hold these classes once a month for femdoms, and we learn all kinds of different things, from physical play to supportive, aftercare, stuff like that.
Donna invited me, and she said, even if I'm not into that, she said, especially for women, it's a really great way to find your voice and how to
Yes.
practice that.
It
Have you
really
found that?
is, yes. Yeah, she got me to go to the very first class, and I was kind of, after that class, I was, okay, maybe I can do this. And then a couple more classes, I was like, well, it's kind of fun.
Okay.
and
And did you bring anyone with you?
Donna paired me with a sub each time.
Okay.
So I did have somebody to practice different things with, or not,
Okay.
depending on,
So you can totally just show up and listen without having to do anything.
Exactly.
Okay.
You don't have to do anything you don't want to do in the class. But yeah, after a few classes, I was like, okay, I want to keep doing this. And at that time, he and I had taken a little break from our relationship. So he was not involved at that time as my bottom or sub. But then once we did resume our relationship, he started bottoming for me and going to the classes with me. And then it just became even more at home, to where he was switching and I was switching, and it was just kind of back and forth.
Okay.
And, I'm more of the bottom side, so I spend more time in that mode.
Meaning that you're submissive most of the time, not dominant? Or would you say it's 50-50?
I would not say I'm really a lot submissive.
So this is something I really wanted to bring up: is a top is not equal to a dom, and a sub is not equal to a bottom.
Educate me, please.
Yeah, she's not terribly submissive unless she's really horny. And yeah, our daddy dynamic. Thank you. Let me get that out. She's not given a set of tasks and then evaluated and punished or rewarded based on how well that went.
Okay.
That's not what it is. It's a more emotional and intellectual daddy baby girl, and whatever kind of scene we construct is the end in itself. To give her that sensational release to let her get to wherever she needs to go and satisfy my needs as well on the top side. So,
Okay.
That's my definition of daddy dom with this young lady.
Got it.
Tremendous fun for me in top space.
Okay,
Wow.
so can you tell us what top space is like and what that feels like?
For me, it's not so much about the precision, the professionalism of the impact, hitting in the right spot with the right tool at the right time with the right firmness. It's all of that at once. It's just kind of a gestalten experience driven by her reactions. And if the reactions I see indicate, I remember doing that, okay, let me do this. And if it happens again, I've got a little sweet spot to play with.
So you file that away for...
Sure. And may not do it again that evening, that scene, but it'll be there for the future. Hey, and I have as much ego as anyone else in the room. And, I like being able to come out of the dungeon, her wrapped in a blanket, heading for the bed, going, well done, son. Instead of having to carry her in bed with real tears because I fucked up something.
Right.
That happens too. Anyone who says it doesn't is lying.
Yeah.
It does happen. You make mistakes. And you were mentioning a pre-broadcast discussion about age play. This is a good one. My body doesn't work as well as it used to. I can't tie like I used to. I can't create the aesthetic that I like. And occasionally my eyesight's a little off and my targeting radar goes askew and I put some wax where they don't belong. It doesn't happen often enough to be a gate issue.
No.
But it happens frequently enough that I have to remember that at the start of every event, every scene. Accuracy counts. Not for perfection's sake, just for safety's sake.
And that's something I am learning hand over fist in the community is how much responsibility each participant has in each role for not only themselves, but for the other person. And that how vital that can be by just not paying attention to the other person, not paying attention to their needs or mishaps.
So I just want to mention that Jaysin and I did photograph the two of you during a dungeon event.
Right.
And the one thing that I immediately I was like, oh my God, this is how it should be, is every time there was some sort of impact, he would immediately check in with you and say, are you okay? Like he would lean in and whisper. So it's like, that was just like, oh, so he's not just going to whack and whack for like 30 minutes straight till he's tired and then send you on your merry way. I'm like, this is way more than just the hitting.
There's a lot of communication between the partners, both verbally and with body language. You have to be able to read the other person's body language.
Okay.
And to be fair, whenever I'd lean in close to her ear, I wasn't always asking if she was okay.
Oh.
I might have been saying something like, that was a medium, here comes a hard.
Something like that. Or
The anticipation, the mind tricks.
Mind fucking.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's as much a part of kink as toys themselves.
Doesn't say it as much as he growls it.
Oh, I like how nonchalant you look right now.
And me and Jaysin are like,
and I even noticed like 5 more.
Yeah, I do hear that quite a bit. 5 more.
And then how often do you actually do the 5 versus
10?
Yeah.
Oh, I think he only does. I don't think he ever goes beyond what he tells me he's going to do.
Oh,
Nope.
Interesting.
Never
man of his
will.
word. Okay. Okay.
That's a lot of respect. So like the mutual respect thing is the thing I really wanted to touch on, because I mean, even in our conversation, you start talking for her and then you say immediately stop and say, I will of course let her, say her own piece, say her own mindset. And like that, to me, that's amazing amounts of respect.
Considering the roles,
Well, dominance doesn't have anything to do with human nature and common courtesy and, chivalry. They're not dead. They're just absent at the moment, being saved for a better time.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why we wanted to start this podcast, because people think Domme equals I'm going to rule her like day and night and she's just going to fall at my feet.
And while there is those dynamics.
There is. But each couple has to discuss it, and there's always respect involved in the right relationship. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay. And the roles are as you define them. We've defined our roles in a very different way than most people.
And I'm sure that evolves too and changes.
I was just going to say, and those definitions are not static. They're dynamical. They move. They move with time. They move with experience. They move with physical abilities. So they're as clearly defined as they can be at this instanter of time. Beyond that, everything's negotiable.
Yeah.
And so should be.
And so should be.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Jill, I would love it if you tell me how you guys met and what your first meeting was like.
She's been glowing about this.
It was at a munch, and it was supposed to be at one place, but this was like right early, it's April of 2021. We were still kind of
so just past COVID.
With COVID,
During,
some places were not opening regularly in the places that we were supposed to have the munch. It was just a small group of people. The restaurant didn't have enough staff to open, so it got moved to another restaurant. Well, he and I got there about the same time, before everyone else, and he looked at me and he said, "Are you with the group?" And I knew exactly what he meant, and I said, "Yes, I am." And we sat down and we started talking, and we haven't stopped since.
Oh,
I mean, we were constantly talking, texting for, oh gosh, such a long time.
so since you just met there, like you didn't know if he was a dom or a sub or anything else. So how soon after meeting does that come up into the
That's
conversation?
a wildly good quick question. Like how do you breach a topic about kink to someone else?
That's new.
That, I think because I got the vibe from him that he is a more dominant person. So we exchanged FET names and started messaging there on FetLife, and then moved to text messages. We exchanged phone numbers. But in the beginning, it was just kind of, you just ask, what is it that you're looking for? I mean, it's in your profile, this, and this. Expand on that. And you just kind of keep the conversation moving from there. There's always conversation.
Do you think that there's relationships that you meet, you click on a, on a very basic, like just hormonal level, but there's different kinds of kinks that you don't align on?
Oh,
like
yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah, if one of us is not into something, then nobody's going to force anybody to do something they don't want to do.
And there's so many things to explore. I'm sure you'll come up with something that you're both happy with.
Yes.
So Jake, going back to you, you mentioned earlier that sometimes you switch. So when did you start switching, and how was that for you? Like,
Well, back in the recent ice age, most times, not always, but most times when you were invited into someone's home for a home party, first couple times you went in as a bottom.
what?
You were telling me this.
Why?
And this is fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay.
You went in as a bottom, and the thinking was, and the group philosophy, and this may have been confined to this small local area, the region of Illinois. Their belief was, how can you be a really effective, in-tune, well-equipped top if you don't know what the fuck it feels like to do what you're going to do to somebody?
That actually makes so much sense. Wow.
And so that was kind of, well, obviously that was the real first exposure to a switch environment, because it's a mixed crowd, guys, girls. You never know what's going to hit you and who's going to do it.
Wow.
You just know it will happen, and it happens in a very, very safe and sane way at that time. And my switching just kind of always became a component of me. I've always enjoyed the dominant side in a variety of different roles, not always daddy dom. Sometimes just pain in the ass dom. But that was partner dependent. And the last time I switched prior to re-engaging that persona now was back 2012, 2013. So it's been a while.
Okay.
And it also adds an interesting layer of engagement for me. I know what I used to be able to take and do. I have no idea if I can now. What a wonderful safety margin for her to learn with.
Absolutely.
Oh, love that. Wow.
So, I'm just an old toothless lion trying to have, a couple last good roars on the way out behind the barn.
Seems like you're doing it, though.
So her willingness to engage her dominant theme and purposely and apparently enjoyably grow that inventory of skills with me on the other end of it. That's a very, very elegant small circle.
I love that. And it seems like since you guys have such an open, honest relationship, it's a very safe space for her to explore that dominant side. That's wonderful.
Right.
Wow.
I hope so.
We always do.
Yes.
I would think most of the communication would be continual communication to ensure that respect, that mutual consideration is constantly there.
Do you sometimes start a scene and you're like, oh, I wonder if do you, before trying something completely new, like a brand new toy or something that completely is unexpected, would you talk to her about that first? Or you know her well enough where you know that she would love a surprise, and if she doesn't, then she'll tell you?
I know her well enough to know whether she will enjoy it or not, but I am no fucking way smart enough to do that. I will always ask, new toy.
Okay.
Absolutely.
New toy.
Yeah.
I might try this tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I might try that tonight.
Mm-hmm.
No. She does not do well with
Like surprises.
instant surprises.
Oh,
I
no,
don't
that's
like
not your, okay.
So
got it.
even if I know she's going to like it, I'm still going to
You
ask.
still
Okay,
have the
that's a smart
respect
man.
between
I'm not going to push that anxiety point.
Yeah.
It just fucks everything
Right.
up after
Yeah. Because
And,
that hinders on trust then after that. And
that. Absolutely.
and you two have been partners for how many years?
It'll be 5 this April.
5
Okay,
years.
that's amazing.
when you first got into the kink scene, you had to be a sub first to understand what it was like before you could be a dom, to understand like what you, to dish out, you need to be able to take it basically, right? To not only physically, but mentally.
That as well, and to build an inventory of sensation and experience that you could carry forward with you so you'd have some meaning behind.
Do you think that is, do you think that mindset should be taken more seriously today? Like people should consider doing that before jumping into something they might not even understand?
There's nothing wrong with either answer to that. Do I personally? Yeah, I think you should. I think it would make a tremendous amount of positive influence to the community at large, but it will never happen. So, people come in with a self-constructed bias.
Wow, well said.
I'm either going to run the show, euphemistically speaking, or I'm going to be the object, one of the two. And the intelligent ones get tuned up pretty quickly. They see how the rest of the community is performing, and they get tuned up pretty quickly. But there again, reference the earlier point, there's always the small percentage, and that can be a problem because they know everything,
They think
according to them.
So what has been the biggest change from when you first started in kink versus nowadays? And what do you like or don't like about it? Feel free to talk about that as well.
Oh, it's just a much more accessible alternative to human existence and human sexuality and human joy. The communities are now, I almost have to use the word, aggressively marketing themselves. And I think that's wonderful because most of those groups are fundamentally sound, led by realistic admins like this young lady here and her group. They're growing, they're prospering, they're sending the same message, basically. Respect.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier to communicate with people or weed out, the ones like, because especially if you say you cannot come to our event, our dungeon, until you go to some events and you're vetted by somebody. So that's amazing. Where like before that happened, how did you even vet people? Make sure that no crazies showed up at somebody's private house?
Pretty much on condition on site. I mean, there wasn't a reliable alert mechanism in place unless somebody that was affected by that individual started a telephone chain, and word got out that way.
And I guess
But
also
now-
making them bottom first also is like a really good way to do that. Actually,
Yeah,
that's
that hasn't been practiced for a long, long time, but the concept, to my way of thinking, still has merit. We do have here in the metro northern Illinois area what we've called an admin board set up, where if an event has an issue with an attendee, that can be reported to other folks who manage groups and events, and at least get the name disseminated.
That's fantastic.
I love that so much.
That's like safety on safety.
Yeah.
We started that up. Well, I didn't, but I was involved. We started that up several years ago.
That's
and
great.
we use a portion of FET as the platform, and then Zoom. And whatever.
Okay, that's so
Yeah,
great.
it's been helpful. It's trapped out some risk.
Yeah. I can see how like without open communication between different groups, that can be a wasteland.
Because I heard
sure,
that there's different dungeons have different rules, and there's some dungeons that have an open night, and that always was like, every time I hear that, I'm like, oh my God, so anybody just can come in off the street and just...
I mean, granted, that's what we did too. We went to
We went to a munch. I'm talking about the dungeon.
I mean Rose. We went to Rose on an open night.
True, but we went for a lecture, not
Yes,
to
yes,
be
yes,
like,
yes, yes,
you
yes.
know.
We went for the education.
It was a lecture with Mistress Autumn.
Mistress
yeah.
Autumn.
There you go.
I was giving a lecture, and that's
And she was
I sat there with
amazing.
my eyes
Yeah.
just opened, and I learned so much.
So much, yeah.
God, that was so cool.
And Mistress Autumn is a Domme who has a couple of subs? Yeah. Okay, all right. I just want to make sure I'm learning the language.
We're name dropping like we're
Well, when I first met her, like after I saw her lecture, and I was so touched that
Energized,
and I met her at bingo night or something, yeah. And I sat down at the table, and she's like, "My name is Autumn," and I'm like, "Hey, Autumn, nice to meet you." And then it clicked. I'm like,
Yeah.
"You're
Oh.
Mistress Autumn. You're Miss," and she's like. Yeah, I'm like, so I felt like she was a celebrity. I
she
made
was
such
so
a
calm. I'm like, oh no, you are a celebrity. You are a rock star. I would like to keep talking to
Yeah.
you. And she's like, I want to go home.
No. So also, you guys mentioned KK, which is short for Kinky College.
Right.
So can you tell our viewers a little bit about what Kinky College is and why you like attending?
It is a 3-day convention of everything kink. There's classes. That's why it's called Kinky College. It's held twice a year. In spring, there's spring break. In fall, there's homecoming. It's attended by close to 1,000.
I think 1,000 is the limit.
I think it is.
Yeah.
And aside from classes, you know, there's vendors. You can get all of your kink supplies from the vendors.
We were vendors.
There's socialization. There's dungeon time. There's community tables, so you can see, you know, what communities are out there. You can visit and go to their events.
So you
There's
don't
just-
have to go there and be like knowledgeable or wear the outfits, right? Or come with
No.
someone. You can go as a single curious person and see what's out there and learn. You can take classes or go to the
Right.
dungeon, one or the other or both, right?
Right. Yeah, and it's for everybody. You know, for anybody who's not had any experience at all, it's a great place to start because you're learning from people who have a lot of experience.
Yeah. And can you tell us what the tapas is?
That happens on Saturday afternoons. It happens in the dungeon, the main dungeon, and it's where you can taste different kinks, such as flogging, fire play, whips, bondage, different, you know, just all kinds of different.
So you just sign up, the
You
thing
just
you're
go get in
interested in,
line.
get in line,
Get in
and
line.
just try it out, see if you're interested. Okay,
Yep.
okay.
The
That's
thing that
great.
impressed me most about KK is exactly how you just described it. Is you went down a list of the things that were at the convention, and then the dungeon time was really low on your list. It was, you had education first, you
Yes.
had community, You add, and that right there, that is the reason we fell in love with this convention so much,
Yeah.
was that it's all about bringing people up and educating and being like a good community rather than here's a place to play.
Right.
How many other conventions are like that?
Oh, there's plenty all over the country.
We looked
You've
at
been
the
to-
list. We saw a giant list of different shows,
Yeah.
but how many actually push the idea of education
education.
and community before they say, do what you want?
Minneapolis is one. Northern Naughties. I think that's the name of it. Can't remember.
I'm writing it down.
I was just going to say
Yeah,
Northern
write it down.
Naughties.
Look it up. It's in.
Okay.
It's in end of the year.
Okay.
It's a 3-4 day takeover captive hotel.
But so in the Northern Illinois area, Kinky College is the thing that everybody knows.
That's
Okay.
that Kinky College and Exotica.
Oh,
which
Exotica.
is a week or two before or after. I can never remember.
I thought that was more of like
Porn stars?
excuse my vernacular, but I thought that was more of like the porn industry.
Yeah, but there's a lot of kink in mainstream porn these days.
Okay.
Oh shit. Okay.
So there is some kink presence at Expo. I've not
Mm-hmm.
been, so I don't know.
Okay.
But I've been told that there was a reasonable kink presence there.
Mm-hmm.
The events in St. Louis are being recreated.
I like St. Louis so much.
Beat Me in St. Louis was nothing but fun, and then it kind of just dissolved away. And Papa's trying to bring events back now. They just finished their EIK entrance to kink or something.
Oh,
It was a weekend event in St. Louis. I think it was just a week or two ago, or maybe it's a week or two coming up.
Okay.
The events, there's a 3-day convention in Denver, one in Dallas. They all do a pretty good job of offering a combination of vend, education, and recreation.
Cool.
So
But basically, it seems like anyone curious about kink, they go on FetLife, and that's fetlife.com.
Want to bring this up?
Yes.
You said you got into the lifestyle by going on to FET. First of all, how did you know FET was where to go?
I actually just Googled websites for kinky people.
Okay.
That's awesome.
And that's what came up. You know, there were some others that came up, but FetLife has been the best for me as far as connecting with people.
Are there any other websites like FetLife?
There used to be some. I don't know if they exist anymore. There was a place or a site called Collar Space, but that was not a great site. That
Okay.
was yeah.
Fair,
That
fair,
was not.
fair.
It was not a good site,
Okay, gotcha.
in my opinion.
FetLife, now
Sorry.
granted, we haven't been on FetLife very long, but the community just feels so welcoming and engaging in the best possible
Although
way.
we have to admit we've been a little bit spoiled
Oh,
because
super
like
spoiled.
Donna is curating like our avenues. She's like, this is good, this is not. Do this,
Well,
don't
I
do
mean,
that.
everyone we've met so far has
Yeah.
been so amazing
But-
at like allowing us to ask questions, and
we all
allowing us to.
met them through Donna, so yeah.
Well, I mean, we did meet. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
On the totality. Of
Yes, yes.
Because you mentioned first, like you communicated first via FET, and then like when you guys got together, when you first started talking, that you exchanged FET names first, and we noticed that at KK is people were exchanging FET names with us, and we were like, you could just send us your email because we're so
We're
we
so
worked
vanilla,
in,
we
we've
don't
worked in
know.
the business world for forever.
Yeah.
So email is just secondhand nature, but it feels like FET is the preferred communication of the fetish community. Would you?
Right,
Say
because
yeah?
it provides some anonymity.
Anonymity.
There you go.
Yeah.
Tongue twister.
Yeah, it is.
Because I don't want to give up my personal email or phone number to just anybody.
Right. Right. So until you get to know somebody, then you're okay.
Right.
How long was it you guys chatted on FET before?
Oh, not long. He had me hooked.
Yeah, I
'cause
knew it. Look at the
he
smile on his
Yeah,
face.
yeah.
Yeah. It's like I had her hooked when I met her. Come on now.
He told me shortly after we started exchanging messages, he said, I'm like a shark. I have to keep moving to breathe. And I said,
Okay. Yeah.
are you telling me I'm jumping into shark-infested waters? I guess that makes me shark bait.
Oh
So-
my God. Shark bait.
What she doesn't know was the day we met at the pub. Prior to me going to that pub, I'd been building a St. Andrew's cross, and you got strapped to that about a month later.
I did.
Oh.
I did, yeah.
Well, congrats. So you were building it on the hopes of having somebody.
No, I was building it on contract. One of the groups that was
Oh.
operating at the time needed
Oh, okay.
dungeon
So
furniture.
it wasn't for you.
No,
personally. Okay.
I built all the dungeon furniture. for the place.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. You're
I'm
so
noticing that about the
talented.
community. Everyone's very handy.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that's out of necessity?
In part,
Yeah.
yes, very much so.
'Cause you can't go
Any good BDSM do-it-himselfer or herselfer, they have wonderful extended relationships with Dom Depot, Lowe's, Menards, Ace Hardware, Kink Division. I mean,
I am never calling it Home Depot again.
It's Dom Depot from now on.
Ever.
100%.
yeah. I think that's an inbuilt quality to a lot of folks in the community.
Okay.
Okay.
We had to be pretty deft and nimble to get here to this group. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
What's the saying? The mother of all invention is necessity.
Yep.
yep.
And like every time I see a KK, to be honest, I wasn't impressed at first. And the more I talk to people, the more I say, like, I want to be on a St. Andrew's cross. I want to be on a spanking bench. And then I start seeing it like, oh, these are built really well. They
Yes.
can take the beating. They can take all this. That's not a quick
Yeah.
2x4 up and you're done kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Like the vendor next to us who was selling metal.
Paddles.
No-
There was paddles on
yeah.
one side and
Knives.
metal and
And then
knives on the
All
other.
that metal work.
Yeah, I mean, he does it himself.
And then we
by
talked to
himself.
them. Yeah, we talked to them about it, and he just like the amount of time that goes into the craft is just so intense. But anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
let's talk about you guys.
No, I mean, he's absolutely correct.
Mm-hmm.
There is a time investment, and it's part of the relationship of kink that we both have to commit some time to this.
Mm.
You know, it's not trivial. It's not like rolling over in the middle of the night and wanting to hump.
Yeah.
This requires some planning, effort, and communication. So that's kind of a net positive.
So would you say that because of kink, your communication skills have blossomed more than the average person's? I mean, because I know I had a horrible communication situation with my husband. It's like every time we tried talking about anything, it ended up in a fight. But it seems like if you're constantly communicating about wants, needs, respect, yes, no, that will probably build your relationship deeper, won't it?
It certainly helps.
Yeah.
I mean, we still have our disagreements, and it can get a little testy at times.
And our
That's normal.
mix-ups, oh, I didn't understand what you meant by that, so now we just had this fight. But yeah, you just keep communicating and
Keep trying.
and yeah, I think I have better communication with him than I have ever had with anyone in my life.
God, that's scary. Now I'm really under the gun. Just kidding.
What would you suggest to people just getting into this community? I mean, like you're dropping so much knowledge here, like so many like amazing tips just through your conversation, like what would you suggest people do, not do, how they would treat themselves? Like what's more important than just being like, I'm going to go whoop someone's ass or I'm going to get my ass whooped? Like, what would you say is fundamental for someone to know before they really dive into the community.
Why?
Oh.
Why do you want your ass beat? Why do you want to beat somebody else's ass? Who's asking?
What if they don't know why?
Then it's an honest, open exploration. Move carefully.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it's still okay to move forward if you don't know,
Sure.
but just common sense.
Do it with some foresight and some intelligence. Don't just go, look up kink and go to the first event.
Ah. Well,
Nothing else. You'd be surprised. Ask friends.
Mm-hmm.
You'd
Yeah.
be surprised.
Yeah. Interesting. Jill, what would you say? Same question.
That was a good answer. Yeah, you need to know why somebody is interested in this lifestyle. Why do they want to be a dominant or a submissive, or how did that come about for them?
Mm-hmm. So asking questions, I've learned, is okay. It's always okay to ask questions, and everyone has made me feel so reassured that even not so bright questions are okay. Like, for example, I'm still kind of struggling with the whole daddy dom masochist situation you have going. So could you, because I was under the impression that a daddy dom was not somebody that would hurt somebody, but I stand corrected now. So
You stand corrected with the word hurt.
Mm-hmm.
okay, tell me more.
I'm playing with her intentionally. I guess what I'm talking about is word context.
Okay.
Hurting someone has kind of a negative consequence
Absolutely.
attached,
Mm-hmm.
negative interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
Playing with someone, yeah, you're hurting them, but in a way that isn't a violation, and assuming you've talked and
Yeah.
have
So
your
with
consents
permission.
in place
Okay.
and all that.
Thank you. Okay, so that's why everyone refers to it as play.
Yeah.
That makes more sense now. Thank you.
Fine.
Add that to my list of knowledge.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean that's such a broad term too, because like play can mean so many different things, but
Yeah,
it's accepted.
Yeah, and ultimately, kink to me, reproduction is genetic. The biology of reproduction is just genetic urge.
Mm-hmm.
Kink is an emotional and intellectual choice. And some people may come to it naturally, and others may have to work pretty hard at it. But it's a choice.
Can you say a little more about that, the intellectual choice and kink? I feel like I need to hear more about
There's
that.
deeper
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Well, emotionally, is it satisfying? Hell yes. What emotions does it satisfy is a much more interesting question. And in my particular case, and I have no choice, thank you, Freud, it satisfies my ego of control. Even though I'm not really in control. I'll get to that in a minute. And secondly, intellectually, there's the challenge of, can I manage this scene, this workout? Can I manage it in such a way where the worst thing that happens is I get a soft yellow, which means back off a little bit, but I can make the scene extend for a while. Go soft, go long, go hard, go short. Or mix them up as the input comes back to me. What is she doing?
Mm.
How is she reacting? Where do I go from here? Or are we done?
Mm.
But ultimately, that's not my decision. I'm not the one in control.
Mm-hmm.
And any honest dominant on this planet will tell you the person in control of any scene is the submissive.
And I think that will be shocking for a lot of vanilla people hearing
Probably.
that. because
Probably.
I know I was under the same impression. He's in charge. He's doing, like, he's making all the decisions. You have to take it. And I'm like, oh, it's actually a conversation led by the sub and their limits and their needs and wants.
And you do have the option of going to that extreme place in a consensually non-consensual prior agreement. But it is not the prime course for all. There are some, clearly. But for most people, it's a game.
Wow.
And you've heard it from dozens of people. You don't want to break your toys. You want to have fun with them. That's objectifying the relationship, but I hopefully in an instructive way.
Yeah.
And I learned on the last episode that breaking your toys does not mean your paddle. Nope.
Although that does happen too sometimes.
Yes. But they're not as concerned about breaking those toys.
Tell me that's like a joyous occasion.
When,
it is.
When you break a
Like
toy.
it sucks,
Really?
and it's like I mean, I played baseball for a little bit of time, and you broke a bat. That's a
That was a
giant
badge of
accomplishment.
courage.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we have a broken cane that we're going to frame in 2 pieces in a shadow box.
Oh,
so.
I love that.
Just like Lord of the Rings, the sword.
Yep.
That's getting my
Yep.
eardrum.
So tell us a little bit about, like, people are proud of their bruises. They have special toys.
This is very
It's
interesting.
like a badge of honor. Like, because when I started working at the dungeon with Donna and Jaysin when we're shooting, they're like, "Oh, look at these beautiful bruises and whatever." And I'm like, "Wow, this is something that they show off proudly and display." And tell me about that. Or is everybody different?
I think that most people are pretty proud of the marks that they receive. That's why there's so many pictures of those on FetLife.
There's a lot.
I don't bruise very easily unless I bang my knee on something. then there's a great big old bruise. But he can hit my ass for an hour and I still won't have a bruise.
Really?
Which is frustrating for both of us.
Aww.
But her tits bruise nicely.
Oh yeah, they do.
I said this earlier, but your tits are amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Damn, I'm jealous. And congratulations, sir.
They're getting played with either tonight or tomorrow.
Ooh.
Is this like foreplay?
Of course. Everything is foreplay.
I concur.
Have you not been listening?
Everything is foreplay.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's going to be the title of the episode. Everything is foreplay.
What I'm getting out of this conversation, and guys, thank you so much for not only coming here, but like helping educate us and helping educate other people. And like the whole goal of this podcast is to shine light on a community that we fell in love with and like we want to learn more. So it's a very selfish thing that we get to learn more, but also hopefully help other people who are afraid to ask the questions or don't know the questions to ask.
I always wanted to talk about these things, even if I wasn't interested in doing them. I had so many questions. And Google shows you nothing, but like the answer is always porn, you know? So it's like, like you said, the why, like, so this has been so incredible. Thank you so much. We really appreciate everything that you guys do and how effortlessly you educate the newbies, especially. That was like the very moment I met you guys. Like, I remember like you looked over at one of us and you're like, she likes this because blah, blah, and I'm going to do this. And I was like, I didn't even have to ask. It was amazing. Thank you for that.
Well, let me compliment the two of you on your efforts to get this podcast up and running and supporting our community effectively. And let me also say I'm incredibly impressed with your 3 candles. We're back in the 16th century because we're almost out of time. And that was purposeful.
Yes, it was, sir. Yes, it was.
Oh my God.
Those were timed.
I know.
But seriously, guys, thank you so much for talking about everything and for coming here today. Now, you are a part of an organization that is looking for more people potentially.
Sure. Yeah, we're always welcoming new members to the group, the King County Kinksters. We are happy to have newbies come to our events. You know, of course, come to the Munch first.
Where can they find you?
You can go to the King County Kinksters page on FetLife. The Munches are the first Tuesday of each month.
Every month.
every month.
Very cool.
Nice. You just go there and you start chit-chatting. Like, you shouldn't feel weird showing up or anything
Not
like
at all.
that.
No,
Okay.
everybody is welcome. You come in, you join a conversation, you have some good food.
Showing up for a munch is how you meet people occasionally.
Exactly.
You guys are so cute together. It's like, it makes my teeth hurt.
Well, that's a wrap.
If this episode cracked something open for you, confused you, turned the light on, or made you rethink some old assumptions, that's the point.
Sex, kink, and desires are never one size fits all. They're personal, they're evolving, and they deserve way more respect than the stereotypes give them.
We're not here to tell you what to want. We're here to champion everyone figuring it out for themselves, safely, consensually, and without shame.
If you learned something today, sit with it. If something challenged you, interrogate it. And if something resonated, explore it.
You can find out more of our work, our art, and everything bad at boudoirafterdark.com.
And if you're brave enough to keep learning with us,
Stay curious,
stay unapologetic.
stay bad.
You are my toy. You are my plaything. Anything I want from you, you'll give it me. Given.